Spring day, one spring.
She loves to go out target shooting on weekends. One spring day when Six was in the forest practicing with her bow and arrow, she spotted a very large hairy creature with great big feet. Six wondered if he was the legendary Bigfoot. Six didn't want to hurt the creature, but she wanted to stop him from coming any closer. So she shot her arrow straight up in the air. It landed right in front of the hairy creature, stopping him dead in his tracks. Remember, when it's 6 times 3, Six shoots her bow, which is shaped like a 3, see? And the arrow, which is a 1, lands in front of Bigfoot, who's shaped like an 8.
So 6 times 3 is 18.
Yep.
Hey, Appa! 6 times 3 is 18.
Okay.
Now
The next one is 6 times 4. Okay.
6 times 4 is 24.
There was once a snail that lived in a swamp with lily pads. The swamp was pretty ordinary, but next to it... What are you chewing? Okay. The swamp was pretty ordinary, but next to it was a special magic 4 pond. The snail knew that if he climbed into the magic pond, he could have one wish granted. The snail had become tired of always looking at the ground. He wished he could soar above the trees and mountains like a swan, so he climbed into the magic pond. The snail closed his eyes very tightly and made his wish. Poof, his wish came true and he turned into a beautiful swan. So 6, see, he's shaped like a 6, times 4 is 24.
Yeah.
Times 4 is 24.
Appa! 6 times 4 is 24.
This is my favorite story. 6 times 6 is 36. There were twin Sixes from Africa. They wanted to visit their cousins who lived across the desert. They hadn't seen each other for many years. They set out on their journey. After hiking for many days, they got low on water. Just when they started to get very worried, they came upon a pool of clear, cool spring water. The twin Sixes were so happy to find water, they were very thirsty Sixes. Thirsty Sixes. After getting a drink, they made it to their cousin's house where they had a glorious party. See, 6 times 6. They're thirsty Sixes, which sounds like 36.
Funny joke. Hey, Appa! 6 times 6 is 36.
And then we did, this is the 6 times 8 is 4 the 8. 4 the 8. Right? Okay, let's practice those ones. So let's think about the stories. 6 times 3. 6 times 3.
Well, they were like 2 twin Sixes, and they were thirsty Sixes, and that sounded like 38.
36.
36. I didn't see you, Leah.
But what about 6 times 3? Remember the hunter in the woods with the 3-shaped bow?
Yeah.
What happened to her?
She was a 6, and she shot a arrow that looked like a 3, and
Well, the bow looks like a 3.
Yeah, the bow looks like a 3, but the arrow looked like a 1, and the monster looked like an 8. So 6 times 3 is 18.
That's right. Let's see. Let's practice another one. Let's do 6 times 4. Remember, 6 times 4 was the story about the snail who got into the 4 pond, and the snail was shaped like a 6, and this pond was 4. So 6 times 4. What happened to him when he got into the pond?
He granted his wish, and poof, he turned into a swan.
And what shape was the swan?
Was like a 2, and the 2 was sitting in the magic pond.
Which is shaped like a what?
A 4, so 6 times 4 is 24.
That's right. Okay, now 6 times 8.
Why did you turn that on?
So I can send it to Grandma Judy.
Oh.
Okay, so 6 times 8.
6 times 8.
Remember, the 6 is the baker,
Yeah.
and the 8 is the cake. And the cake is for who?
The birthday boy.
Who is shaped like what?
An 8.
Yeah, 4 of the 8. Which 4 of the 8 sounds like what?
48.
Yeah, so 6 times 8 is...
48.
That's right.
Appa! 6 times 8 is 48. Said I walk.
So do you want to think about those again? Okay, 6 times 3. Without look, but you know, let's learn those ones first before we get confused with other stories. Let's look at some other
Where
ones.
are they?
No, we have to put it in your memory, not look at the pictures.
Where are the 6s? I want to pull the 6s.
There.
I want to do more 6 stories.
Well, that's all there is. That's all the 6s.
6 loves to go out to get target shooting on weekends. One spring day when 6 was in the forest practicing with her bow and arrow, she spotted a very large hairy creature with great big feet. 6 wouldn't. 6 wondered if he was the legendary Bigfoot. 6 didn't want to hurt the creature, but she wanted to stop him from getting any closer. So she shot her arrow straight up into the air. It landed right in front of the hairy creature, stopping him dead in his tracks. What does this say?
Remember?
When it's 6 times 3, 6 shoots her bow 3. The arrow 1 lands in front of the Bigfoot 8. And that's... And it has a big fat tummy. 4. And that's 18. This 6th story is about a snail and this one. The 4 magic tree. There was once a snail that lived in a swamp with lily pads. The swamp was pretty ordinary, but next to it was a, what does that say? Special.
That's the end part of special.
Special magic 4 pond. The snail knew that if he climbed into the magic pond, it would have one wish granted. The snail had become transformed of always looking at the ground.
He became tired of always looking at the ground.
Yeah. He wished he could soar above the trees and mountains like a swan. So he climbed up into the magic pond. the snail closed his eyes very tight and made a wish. Poof!
He wished his wish.
He wished his wish came true, and he
Sound it out, honey.
Turned into a beautiful swan. Remember, when it's 6 times 4, 6 is a snail in a magic pond. 4, the snail gets his wish to become a swan too. That's to the magic pond 4. And that's 24. Do you want me to read this?
Yeah.
I'll read this one to you.
Okay.
I'll read this one to you. The 6 times 6 equals 36. This is not this die. 3.
No.
Can you?
There.
There were twin 6s from Africa. They wanted to visit their cousins who lived across the desert. They had seen each of other for many years. They set out on their journey. After hiking for many days, they got low on water. Just when they started to get very worried, they came upon a pool of clear, cool spring water. The twin 6s were so happy to find water. They were very thirsty 6s. After getting a drink, they made it to their cousin's house, where they had a glorious party. And remember, when it's 6 times 6, they are very thirsty 6s. And that makes 36.
Okay.
Thirsty 6s. The thirsty sounds like a 3, and that makes it 36.
Yeah.
36 sounds like 36. Okay, Leah, let me quiz you now. Leah, what is 6 times 3?
36?
No.
My butt, take it off.
6 times 3, Leah.
Remember the story about 6? A girl in the forest.
Yeah.
Who had a bow.
Yeah.
And what did she do with the bow?
She shot it, and it was a 1, and it landed right next to the 8 creature, and that makes it 18.
That's right.
So,
okay. And let's do 6 times 6 is the 6
36.
36, and then
I got that from
times
here.
8.
6 times 8.
This is a little 8-shaped boy with the cake. The cake is 6 times 8. For the 8.
48.
That's right. And then last one is 6 times 4.
Where was that one?
That was the pond.
24.
That's right. And how old are you?
6. That's that's why I had to do the sixes, because I'm 6.
Yeah.
If I was 4, I had to do the 4s.
Okay.
Where are the 4s?
Bye.
Bye. Can you pause the movies?